Sebastian Vettel in 2009 was a driver that was in a league of his own, and his first season in Red Bull after being in Toro Rosso, 2009 new regulations and everything. Sebastian Vettel excelled, I guess, in F1, and it was incredible to see. Vettel had one of his best seasons in Formula One. And let's have a throwback to that amazing season. And there was just something that made Vettel special, that rhymes, in 2009. So we're beginning on a quite low note in Australia, where he qualified in third place behind the Browns, who were new to the F1 grid. And Vettel was running smoothly in the race until he had a collision towards the end of the race with Sauber of Robert Kubica, and Vettel was blamed for this incident because he crashed into Kubica, and a few corners later Vettel hit the wall. Kubica went straight into the barriers, and that was the end of both of their races. And in Malaysia, Vettel had misfortune once again, as in torrential weather where no one could see anything, no one could drive properly, there was a lot of standing water. Vettel spun off and retired from the race, and it was not the best start to the season that Vettel would ever have. But in China would be history, as his second Grand Prix victory came in wet conditions again, heavy rain, and Red Bull's first ever Formula One victory. And Vettel clinched his second, and he confirmed himself as a championship contender, and he confirmed himself as a man that could fight Jenson Button to the title as no one else could. Lewis Hamilton in a fairly disastrous car, I think we can all agree on that. And Vettel just kept on racking up the points, and his next win of the 2009 season came at the British Grand Prix, where he finished ahead of his teammate Mark Webber and teammate to Jenson Button, or rival Rubens Barrichello. And Vettel would try as hard as he could, and at the Belgian Grand Prix, in very dramatic fashion in the first lap, Romain Grosjean, Jaime Alguersuari, Lewis Hamilton and championship contender Jenson Button all crashed out at the Lake Holmes chicane, and well, loads of damage was done, especially to Lewis Hamilton's car. It was badly damaged, as you can see. Grosjean was involved. Yes, Grosjean was there in 2009 in Formula One. That's the picture of Jenson Button's car. And Vettel managed to grab a third place. Kimi Raikkonen won, and a surprising second from the Force India of Giancarlo Fisichella. And Vettel's next win would come at the Japanese Grand Prix, where he finished ahead of Timo Glock, I think, and Lewis Hamilton. Vettel wouldn't get any wins as a championship contender. His next win would come after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, and prior to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix he lost out to Jenson Button for the World Championship, and he says it hurt him more than anything. Vettel won the first ever Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, a track that was new to the F1 calendar. Grand Prix was new to the F1 calendar, and that has been the home of many joys, tears and heartbreaks. So many of them, especially if you talk about very recently, but I won't go deep into that. But Vettel achieved a very great 2009 season, and the stats were quite good. Not the best, but 4 Grand Prix victories: Silverstone, China, Suzuka and Abu Dhabi. 8 podium finishes throughout that season, and then chucked up 4 pole positions. And well, Vettel really did a lot, and 3 fastest laps in that season, and last but not least, scored 84 points, as in 2009 a winner would get 10 points. So it wasn't really the best point scoring system in Formula One at the time, but Vettel had a really incredible 2009, and no one would expect what would come in the years to come. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're awesome, and from me, Octave F1, it's goodbye.